Hi, welcome to The Church. This is a video podcast where we discuss contemporary challenges and apply biblical solutions. The way this program works, it's just like a 15-minute or so podcast where we're going to discuss some contemporary issues and just find some biblical solutions. We may not have all of the answers, but we're going to get the answers from the right place, and we'll just go from there. All right, welcome to The Church. I am the only Mel Cruz. Today's episode, Church Girls, Fact or Fiction? So we know that there's been some controversy surrounding the song from Beyoncé. Let's see, what's it called? Church Girls, that's what it's called. In the house with me today is the Purple Couch. We are back at it again.
Hey,
Hey, Purple Couch, how you doing?
fine, and you?
Awesome. All right. So we know that there's been some controversy surrounding the song from Beyonce, Church Girls. We know that we've had, what's his name? Bishop Wooten, I think is his name, where he is, he's adamant about the fact that the song from Beyonce is sacrilege. So we're just going to kind of chop that up a little bit. One thing, here's my opinion on this, Purple Couch, and you can weigh in.
Mhm.
I feel like that bishop and anyone else that has a problem with the song, they need to be mad at Twinkie Clark and the Clark sisters as far as, the song being misappropriated in their terms.
Yeah, y'all
Right.
leave Beyonce alone.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely, because Beyonce is Beyonce. She's who she's been,
Hmm.
and she's geared towards pleasing her people, her fans.
Right.
So it's not like she was like, this is dedicated to the church. I mean,
Well, you're
and
right.
the thing is, if you really kind of read the lyrics, it's the testimony of a lot of church girls. So
Hmm.
it's the reality of a lot of church girls.
Yeah.
So what's up?
Yeah. I think the first clip we can start with is from the bishop's wife, who, and I don't have this actually all the way queued up, so we're just going to get in where we fit in with it. So let me click the share screen real quick,
Mhm.
and let's see what she's talking about, because she's extremely adamant about, she's actually offended. But let's listen to her. Let's see.
Mhm.
And defend. We are the church girls. We are the church girls, and we deserve to be defended. We are women of honor. We are women of integrity. We are women who love God. We love our husbands. We love our children. We love this country. We love this nation. We are church girls, and we deserve to be honored and defended. We are the church.
Okay. So just based on that, what are your thoughts on that?
In Beyonce's song, she didn't say all church girls are
Hmm.
like this and have done this.
Mm.
And then I would ask a lot of those women in that congregation, did you do any of this coming up and still being in church? I'm sure there are many of them that
Mhm.
went to the club, that dropped it like it's hot, that
Mm.
went through some trials and tribulations
Mhm.
with relationships
Mm.
and doing all types of things while they still was in the church. So
Yeah.
let's not act like this is something foreign.
Exactly. I mean, because some churches they even have the rule or standard or philosophy that if a young lady comes up pregnant out of wedlock, to
Yes.
go ahead and sit that person down until after they actually have the baby, the set and 2/3. So
Mhm.
it's not foreign. I mean, it's a reality for some people in the church all across
Yeah.
the land. Yeah. So
Yes.
I don't know if this is just an opportunity, if the bishop's wife felt like, hey, this is an opportunity to continue to go viral or to be relevant.
Hmm.
I don't know. It seems a little disingenuous to me, to be honest with you.
Yes, I agree. I definitely agree.
What are your thoughts about if they want to be irritated, that it should be with, Twinkie Clark or the Clark sisters? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree with that. If anyone, if they feel so strongly about it, it's like I said, Beyonce is Beyonce. She's been putting her music out, for her fans. Twinkie allowing her to use a part of her gospel inspired song that was in worship to God or whatever, that's who you should, go to and question versus, going all off on Beyonce. I mean, Twinkie is the one who told her she could use that in that song. So it's almost like um a woman going after the chick on the side when it
Mm,
was the husband or the boyfriend who, you know,
it's in the
uh,
relationship.
who did it. Yeah.
Right,
And
right,
instead of them being mad at him, they mad at each other, the wrong person.
right. Yeah, I see that. I see that. Give me just a second. I'm just checking something here. Yeah, okay. Just a second here. So, of course, I got the grandkids running around in the back. So I'm going to play this quick little clip from Dorinda Clark Cole.
Mhm.
Let me actually just go ahead and put it on. Um, she seems to be pretty lighthearted about it, actually. Um, let's see what she says.
Center of his will. Leave her alone. As long as she got something in there, that's all right. Amen. Yeah, y'all leave Beyonce alone. Center of his will.
And so the real question
Leave
is,
her alone. As long as she got something in there, that's all right.
mhm.
Amen.
the
Yeah,
real
y'all
question,
leave
the
Beyonce
real question
alone.
is, like she said, as long as she got something in there, because what? Because it gets you
Right.
guys paid as the Clark sisters, or is there some level of evangelizing going on? As long as there's a dab of the song in there, what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I can't fully see because it is just a dab.
Right.
And a lot of people, because now it's coming out that it's from Twinkie Clark,
Hmm.
that's how a lot of people know what it's coming from. But the majority of the Beyonce fans or ones that listen to her wouldn't have known, you know what I'm saying, that little
Right.
piece came from Twinkie Clark.
Right.
So it
Right. And it's
really wouldn't have been ministering to anyone
mm,
per
mm,
se.
hmm and it's at the very beginning. But I'm going to tell you now, I've been a Clark Sisters fan for 100 years.
Mhm.
Okay, and I thought I knew every single song the Clark Sisters had put out. And I went to look up this song, and girl, I've been bumping that song for the past 2 weeks, just because of this, because of this
Yep.
this issue. And the song is, I mean, so I feel like this: if Beyonce putting this, sampling this song,
Mhm.
drives traffic to the
Mhm.
original, and because the original, once all you gotta do is hear it one time, it will capture you.
Right.
And so under those circumstances, I feel like, Beyonce is at least having the impact, maybe unintended, but
Unintended.
it's yeah, but it's witnessing to some folks if they pursue further to find out what that original song is.
Right. And the thing
Yeah.
is, anything can be turned over for the good,
Mm.
you know?
Good point
And
of view. Yeah.
so this, God can use anything and flip it. So,
Very true.
even though there aren't a lot of people, like you said, if those was because of all this hype and all these people going in, and because of social media, and they're hearing, oh, the clock sisters, and oh, this part of the song, well, that will have several people to go and inquire, because they're inquisitive and try to hear the whole song, and that could be a way of ministering and getting out some word and pricking their hearts. So the thing is that it can all flip and work out for the good.
Hmm. I
But
agree.
these other people just going off and just taking it and running with it, like,
Mhm.
oh, you know, um, we are
Sacrilege.
offended and we're this and
Mhm.
that, and then it's like, really,
Right.
really, she
Right.
didn't say all church girls.
Right.
And the thing is that a lot of what she said in the song is true. Don't act like this is not happening in the church. Now I did hear of someone talking about they felt that it was prophetic, but it's not prophetic when it's happened. I mean, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? When it's happened and it's happening, it's
Hmm.
it's just giving history and what is real.
Right. Well,
So
I mean, you bring that up, and when you said that, you heard someone shout out to Larry Reed Live,
mhm.
okay? Because yes, indeed. And I was like, wait a minute. I don't know if I agree with his guest. Who is this Archbishop Jordan?
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if I agree with him. I'm just going to try to play a segment because this really is not queued up. But let's see what he's saying right here.
Where we're at in our life. And the power, and it was a very powerful line in the song, is that she's not trying to hurt anyone, right? Because it's like harm to no one. She's just trying to live a life or whatever. So she's one person by day and another person by night. So
is the story of Hosea.
yeah, and I'm sitting there saying, "Ooh," I said, "This is such a prophetic prototype." I
Now,
said,
see, we have not discussed this,
"No, we haven't. No, we have
but
not got a chance to talk to."
I said this album that Beyonce done was horribly prophetic, and I said this to the pages because in Patreon I prophesied about a period of renaissance that will show up in the
Yeah.
recession, and the name of her CD is Renaissance.
Yeah, and she's new. So you begin to start looking at this here, but it's also revealing possibly who we are preaching to in the pew, because I had to go to a prophet's son to break down the words and the lyrics because I didn't know what a rack was, and I didn't know what it was to bust it.
Right.
And when we
Okay.
started using the term,
Okay. So, I don't know. That's a stretch to
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Um, that's a big stretch. I mean, I can kind of identify with what he's saying about the vernacular,
Mhm.
because if you're preaching to the old saints, then if you try to incorporate some new school vernacular, there's going to be a communication barrier there. But as far as trying to take Beyonce's song and make it
Mhm.
based on the lyrics, um, prophetic, or, I don't know. That to me, that's a bit of a stretch, but I digress. Maybe I don't know enough. But what do you think overall about that? What he just
Oh
said?
no, I totally agree, because prophecy is foretelling. Okay, this is happening. It
Hmm.
has happened and it's happening. So it's, come on. We have a lot of PK kids that have had babies, at young ages, and they were in the church. So, and
So,
they
so,
are
so,
some of
well,
them.
well, just for clarification, so you totally agree with what this Bishop Jordan was saying on the Larry
No, no,
Reed Live?
no.
Okay.
No, he's saying that it's prophetic. Prophetic is
Hmm.
foretelling.
Hmm.
Prophecy is foretelling, but this is happening now.
Hmm. Hmm.
This is happening this happened in many churches in the past.
And
This
yeah,
where and there used to be a saying when I was growing up. The guys was like, "Oh, church girls are just as much of a freak as girls that
hmm,
aren't."
right,
So why would people be saying that? You know what I'm saying?
mm,
So it is a
right,
in the daytime I'm this, and at nighttime I'm something else.
hmm,
You know, so
yeah,
it's not prophetic; it's reality.
right,
It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
reality of many church girls.
Right, right. And and I wonder why. Um, and you and I kind of talked about this a couple days ago. I wonder why we're not taking. I mean, you have all this attention. Why aren't we taking, or why isn't the church, if you will, taking this opportunity and this relevant open window, if you will, to discuss the actual fact that there are some church girls where this song that Beyonce has released is the reality for some church girls. Why isn't the church addressing that um,
Right,
to see what they can do about it as opposed to being offended?
right.
What is it? Righteous indignation.
Yeah.
Why aren't we just addressing what most people know to be a reality? Just because you go to church, it doesn't make you saved.
No, no. Don't make you saved. Don't make you holy and out. And see, the thing
Mm,
is that the church is not authentic. The church is not real. They try
mm,
to put things, sweep things under the rug and
mhm.
portray this image. And
Yeah.
the thing is, and that's why it's a lot of uncovering and exposure
Mm-mm.
going on now
Mhm.
because, it's so many things hiding in the church. And that's
Mm.
why the church can't heal or heal the nation,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
And it's really interesting to me that we go and we really go and I'm so offended. But
Mhm.
yet there are preachers sleeping with the
Mm.
young women and men in the church.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are you talking about? So they're portraying a situation they're one way in the day and something else at night.
Mhm.
So come on. What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Why are we so offended when we haven't addressed, like you stated, what's really going on in the church house? This is going on in the
Mhm.
church house.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Now I didn't have this. Let me see if I can actually find the clip because I didn't get a chance to listen to it. But even Juanita Bynum is back in the news with her statement that. Oh wait, yeah, okay, great. Here's some video for it. Stating that I guess if you can't be wait a minute, let me bring it up on the screen real quick. So we have Juanita Bynum saying that um, you can't be saved listening to secular music. Let's check this out a little bit. And this will be my first
Mm-hmm.
time. I saw the headline, but I didn't get a chance to listen to it yet. So let's see.
Told you that you can do this and then sing in the choir, then sing on the praise team. I'm not hearing y'all talk to me. Then you do this and pick up a mic and want to prophesy. You can't prophesy when you just got through dancing to the devil's music. Turn it on,
Oh, and they
because that's
play.
what's in some of y'all cars right now. But I hear the Lord saying, clean it up. It's time to clean the church.
So that's interesting because that's so interesting because you're actually playing secular music while you're
Mm-hmm.
attempting to minister,
Mm-hmm.
Juanita. So that's
Yeah.
interesting.
But
You see,
also
mm-hmm.
at her birthday, she was dancing to secular music.
Oh Lord Jesus.
So how hypocritical. See, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
The church is crazy. The church
Oh Lord.
is civil. The church has so many different personalities
Mm,
till they don't know who they are.
right.
And it's
Well, they're
crazy.
certainly not on one accord because if
Nope.
they're certainly not on one accord because even her message wasn't on one accord. And I guess she was trying to use it as a teachable moment. But if it's
Right.
that blasphemous, then why are you playing it in the sanctuary while you're trying to teach about it? It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just all good shock and awe. I don't know. I don't know. But I just
It,
feel like this is the time now to address those, the inadequacies and
mhm,
reveal or address what is being revealed as far as people in church are not gods. They are human beings in need of salvation, like those who are not in church. In
mhm.
church. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Yeah. And the thing is, it's like we forget. We
Mm,
forget from whence we've come from. Just like
mm,
she's up there talking about dancing and not dancing to the secular music, listening to it, and
mhm.
then prophesying. But you had it playing at your birthday party, and you was dancing to
Mm.
it and singing the lyrics
Oh,
at your birthday
see,
party. Somebody
see.
dig, somebody dig that video up and played it. So how hypocritical.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Your words are falling. They're falling on stony ground because
Mm.
what people see and
Mhm,
hear is different
mhm.
from what you're portraying at this moment.
Well, let
So
me
your
ask you this.
daytime don't match your nighttime.
Ooh wee, ooh wee. And it sounded like the Bishop Jordan was trying to say that's why this song is so prophetic because you're one way in the daytime and another way in the
Mhm,
nighttime. And I don't know how he's even, I don't know. That's just a very big, large stretch. But somebody somewhere is gonna say, that'll preach, that'll preach. Okay.
mhm.
And I don't know. I might have to do a couple more years of college to, you know what I'm saying, to get in line with what he's talking about. But like I said, I don't know everything. So maybe he has a point there and it's just over my head right now. I don't know. But so what do you think? What do you think the church should do with this controversy? Because it does appear that it's, starting to die down. But what do you think they
Mhm.
should do before this, spotlight just dims all the way off of them? What should they do about this, church girls? The song and the inference.
The older women should teach the younger women
Mm,
and be real.
mm,
Girls, we know you going through this. You know that you may have a daytime image and the night whole separate nighttime image. It's not beneficial. It's I've been there, honey. Been there, done that.
hmm.
They need to really be open and talk to these young women. When I
Yeah.
was working with a GED program,
Hmm.
I realized I had to at a certain time of the day just sit down and let them talk. And
Right.
and they knew that I was, you know, a minister, but they were open and
Hmm.
willing to talk about I'm talking about a lot of stuff.
Right.
And one thing I didn't act like I was holier than thou or offended by
Hmm.
anything they said because there's some things I went through as being a church girl. I was a church girl, I was in everything
Hmm.
in church, but yet still fell to some situations.
Right.
So it's like don't they act like they were born holy and saved
Mm,
and
mm.
doing everything right.
Right.
Not so. Not so.
Right. Hmm. And it doesn't have to be blatant behavior like,
Right.
the extent to what Beyonce's song is saying. I mean, you can have the wrong mindset,
Right.
or not tell the entire truth. I mean, there's so many ways that you can fall short as a Christian. So I do
Yes.
agree, there needs to be some real talk um, when it comes to being or pursuing the highest level of acceptance, if you will, in
Mhm.
Christ, or doing, running your race the best you can, putting your
Yes.
all in your race.
Mhm.
And that's what I think is missing when we just stop and all of a sudden we're yelling louder about how offended we are, as
Mhm.
opposed to acknowledging the fact that, hey, for some of you, this is a reality,
Right.
because there's some people that are listening to Beyonce and they're like, you know what, that is me, and I'm about to go lead the praise and worship service in the next 4 hours, Saturday night. I'm
Mhm.
out here, drop it like a hottie, drop it like a hottie, and
Mhm.
so without us recognizing that, or telling people, hey, we recognize that this could be some of y'all life,
Right.
how can we overcome it, how can we grow from it? I don't understand why the church puts on airs. I don't understand that, or why,
Yeah.
you know, because I feel like if we would be more realistic, then when God does pull up and
Mhm.
make some changes in our life, You
Mm-hmm.
understand? And then
Yep.
when we're singing that song, Center of Thy Will, the
Mm-hmm.
original version from the
Mm-hmm.
Clark sisters, we can truly that would truly be our
Right.
testimony. So I don't get it. I don't get
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
I don't get
And think about how many times you've heard. Well, I've heard
it. Hmm.
where people are like, "Yeah, I was at the club Saturday night,
Hmm.
but one thing is my mother made sure we had to get up no matter how late we
Hmm.
came in.
Hmm.
We going to church."
Right.
So there it is right there. But
Right.
this the title is Church Girls, but it also should be Church Boys.
Mm.
Because hello, look at all these pastors sleeping around with
Ooh
other
wee.
women,
Ooh wee.
not their wives.
Ooh wee.
And
Ooh wee.
come on.
And
And
then have the audacity to manipulate the scripture to justify
thank you.
scripturally their
Thank you.
bad behavior.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Mm.
And what about the women that get pregnant that have to go before the church and apologize? I've seen this happen, and never have I seen the male be
Hmm.
pulled up to the front to apologize. She didn't make that
No.
baby by herself.
Right.
And
Right.
a lot of times the male is in the church as well.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Especially if it's a PK.
Yeah.
99% it's going to be two PKs that's put themselves in that type of predicament. So,
Right.
yeah, it's something. I don't know, girl. Well, it's definitely something we can keep a watch on and see. I'd be very interested to see. I'd be more inclined to delve deeper and with a preacher who is actually being forthright and calling it what it is. Just like when
Mhm.
Jesus, ran into the woman at the well.
Yes.
He called it out. He said, "Hey, this is what it is. The man you're
Mhm.
sleeping with is not your husband, and neither have
Yep.
the other five of them, I think it says.
Mhm.
Um, that's a good starting point because
Yes.
now her and Jesus were on the same page.
Yes.
Okay. And that
Yes.
girl walked away and testified. And what does the scripture say? And the entire town was saved after she went and
Because
said,
of her
yeah.
yes.
But
Yes.
that happened because because Jesus kept it a whole 100
Mhm.
and called out her reality.
Right.
Her reality. Mm,
Her reality. And she didn't try to cover it up. She
right.
went with it. She
Mm,
received it.
she knew it was true.
Right.
Girl, I
So
think that'll
what
preach.
right.
That'll
Come on
preach.
now. That's
But
right.
you're right. Yeah. Yeah. He spoke to her. He told her what her reality was. But I don't know. The thing with Larry Reed, um, and that Bishop Jordan or Archbishop Jordan, I don't know. I don't know. That's a little shaky for me because
Mhm.
especially if you're not deeply rooted and grounded in the word. I
Right.
mean, just trying to study the word alone and by yourself anyway,
Mhm.
takes some effort and takes multiple attempts. And so
Right.
now to try to apply this lens of deciphering Beyonce's music and turning in a drop it like a thotty hottie hottie
Right.
and somehow try to equate that with the only thing I could say is that's the Samaritan woman at the well. I
Mhm.
mean, you know,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. They tried to relate it to Hosea, because his wife was like a prostitute and he
Right,
kept
right, right.
going after her and showing the love. But I think like you stated, it's more of the Samaritan woman,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I don't see that one. I don't see that about the
Yeah.
showing of love because even the subject of the song is not about a man.
Mm-mm.
It's about a
No, it's not
woman.
about someone keep coming and taking somebody back in, back in. It's the
Right.
reality of a church girl going through these scenarios and
Mhm.
situations in her life.
And that's her.
Being,
And yeah. Oh, sorry.
daytime I'm here, nighttime
Right.
I'm there.
And I want to be here. I want to be
Right.
here. Matter of
Right.
fact,
I
let
want to
me,
be in your will.
yeah, well, yeah,
Mhm.
the center of thy will. And then it makes you say, well, what will are you actually referring to, Beyonce?
Right.
So, I'm going to pull these lyrics up real quick um, just because I want to kind of see if we can see, maybe make it make sense to us as far as like what Larry Reed and them was saying. So,
Mhm.
um, let me see here. I've been up, I've been down. I feel like I move mountains. Got friends that cried fountains. Oh, okay. I'm warning everybody. As soon as I get in this party, I'm going to let go of this body. I'm going to love on me. Nobody can judge me. Nobody can judge me but me. I was born free.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Now here's where we go. Where it's like, okay, this ain't got nothing to do with the church. I'll drop it like a thotty. Drop it like a thotty. I said, now pop it. You know,
Yeah.
church girls acting loose, bad girls acting snotty. Um, yeah, and then you got your cuss words all up in there, twerking and this and that, and then, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it. I mean, no, I mean, only thing I guess I could get with maybe try to quickly assimilate with what Larry Reed and this Bishop Jordan were saying was, you know, direction to men. If you run across a woman who is battling this, this descriptive church girl scenario, just take her
Mm-hmm.
back if she's dropping it like a hottie and this. I don't know, girl. That's just too far of a stretch for me
Yeah,
to
it
try to
is.
justify the lyrics. I don't see it happening. I don't see it
But think
happening.
about
But
it. Think about
mhm,
how many. Well, again, this is from people that I know
mhm.
that have been in the church, and then we hear about it too. But when they go away to college, then they just wild out.
Oh
They
yeah.
party,
Oh yeah.
they da da da. I mean, that's descriptive of that situation. They was raised in the
True.
church, gone out, but then they go wild. It's like they free. They like, woo, I'm gonna do this, I'm a dance, I'm a party, and then
Right.
some of them come back to their senses. Look at the
Hmm.
prodigal son. I mean,
There you go.
so
You're right.
it's it's like don't act like this doesn't
It's
happen in the
yeah.
church to church girls and
Right.
church
Right.
boys.
Yeah. Well, like people say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. This church girl song and scenario is somebody's reality
Yes.
somewhere. Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, the church needs to, maybe uh throttle back the righteous indignation and
Mm,
maybe push forward on addressing the reality of so many people.
yes.
I think that's what needs to happen. Those are just my thoughts. But
Yeah. Yeah.
well, hey, I want to thank you for pulling up Purple Couch or let me say it right, speaking from the Purple Couch. Thanks for pulling up and having this quick conversation with me. And, this is just something to keep an eye on and see who else, because I did not expect Juanita Bynum to come up. I
Me
thought,
too.
I didn't expect her to sound off on this, but, anything to get into the relevant light, I guess. I don't know.
Yep. There we
But
go.
yeah, there we go. Well, that's it. That is the podcast. You guys be sure to like, share, subscribe. Replay gang, leave a comment. I want to hear from you. And until next time, we will see ya when we see ya. Hi, welcome to the church. This is a video podcast where we discuss contemporary challenges and apply biblical solutions. The way this program works, it's just like a 15-minute or so podcast where we're going to discuss some contemporary issues and just find some biblical solutions. We may not have all of the answers, but we're going to get the answers from the right place, and we'll just go from there.